remember one time I was driving through western Colorado. And Colorado's got a lot of open spaces, huge, huge areas. They call it ranch land. You know. So here's this vast expanse, but there's a fence around it. You know, miles and miles and miles of fence, but there's still a fence. So in this big expanse of land, there was 2 horses. That's the only living entities I could see anywhere. 2 horses in this whole area, and they're standing, one's got his neck on one and one's got his neck on the other. They're standing with their necks on each other like this. See? Looking for love. That's what they're looking for. See? Because 2 spirit souls coming together, trying to satisfy that need. But when we look in the wrong place, then we don't find it. See? Relationships, to be successful, have to provide us with fulfillment, with joy. And that's only coming from a spiritual source. So the real solution is, I have to base my relationships on a spiritual foundation. And how that is possible is described very clearly, and we're guided in this in the Bhakti Yoga process. See, now in our position as I'm number 1, controller, enjoyer, etc., everyone and everything is seen as an object of my pleasure. That's the way I look at the world. I see everything. What enjoyment is here for me? How much pleasure does it contain? Why do I like something? Because it represents pleasure. See, why do I like this person? Because this person represents more pleasure than this person. See? So therefore I direct my attention toward this person. See? So 2 people come together with this mutual exploitative vision. Okay, we agree. You give me pleasure and I'll give you pleasure. That's basically how it works. A good relationship as we know it, you know, in material sense, is we give each other pleasure. See? She gives me pleasure, I give her pleasure. And therefore we're happy. How much pleasure do we have to give, really? See? It's all based on the body, sensual pleasure. And that includes emotional. Now you say, oh, but the relationship is so deep, it's so emotional. It's still on the material, it's not on the spiritual platform. Am I really seeing the one that I'm in a relationship with, a spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Soul? Do I really see the need of this person is developing their eternal loving relationship with the Supreme Person? Am I really in this relationship trying to make it possible for them to achieve this goal and therefore attain real happiness and satisfaction? Is this why I'm relating to this person in this way? Is this really my motive? And the answer will almost always be no. I'm relating to this person because I'm expecting this person to provide me with my pleasure, sensually, emotionally, or whatever it is. You see? And that's why oftentimes we get married with the illusion, this is how it's going to be, this person's really going to make me happy. And then later on I find out that they don't. They don't satisfy me. They've given me everything they have to give me, perhaps, and I'm tired of it. I've already received everything they've got to offer, and it's not enough. See? One great saint said in relation to this idea, you know, oh, first when I saw her, you know, she appeared like an ocean of pleasure. But later on, after I had traversed or walked her shores many times, she was reduced to a small pond. You see, it gets less and less. So once we determine that there's no pleasure here, either I just stay in this relationship because of obligation to kids, or, you know, maybe I'm still in the old days when you just make the best of a bad bargain, you don't get divorced. I mean, that's very ancient stuff, but that's how it's supposed to be. Or you just stay there because you don't have anywhere else to go, or you're too attached, although it's so painful, whatever, and you suffer. You suffer. There's so many people suffering in relationships right now. That originally started as something that was going to bring me pleasure, not suffering. Domestic violence is the #1 crime on this planet. Domestic violence, #1 crime on the planet. You see? And so you come and you say domestic violence? That doesn't sound right. Doesn't that mean violence in the home? Yeah, that's what domestic violence is, violence in the home. Oh, I see. And isn't the home where people love each other? Isn't that what homes are about? Where you actually love each other? That's how it should be, but obviously that's not how it is. You see, how many homes are based on that? I had a friend, I lived in Los Angeles for some time, and I had a friend who was a policeman in Los Angeles. Difficult job, policeman. You don't want that job, see. But anyway, he had this job. So he moved from Los Angeles and took a job as a policeman in a very small ski town, Mammoth Mountain, 6 hours north of Los Angeles. Ideal, located in beautiful mountains, very small town. You know, you would think, wow, what a good upgrade. You know, going from LA PD to just a policeman in Mammoth Mountain. You know, I used to go there ski all the time. Fantastic place, you know. And then after, you know, maybe a year and a half, he comes back to LA. I saw him again. I said, what are you doing here, you know? He was in uniform. I said, what are you doing back here? He said, oh, man, he said, this is much better than there. Because there, I said, I thought there was basically no crime. He said, yeah, there's no crime that you think, robberies and, you know, murders and all that kind of stuff. But he said, basically, all of the calls we got were for domestic violence. And you don't want to be in the middle of that. You see, that is the worst situation to be. You know, Mammoth Mountain, ideal. This is where you go to enjoy life. You see, I live in a small town in Colorado, Crested Butte, little ski town, 3,000 residents, and you've got everything at your fingertips. You've got skiing, you got mountain biking, you got hiking, you got rafting, you got rock climbing, you got, you know, whatever you want to do in nature, right there. And it's a very, very clean, nice town. There's no stoplight. There's no McDonald's. There's not a fast food chain in the whole place. The air is so clean, you can't believe it. You know, it's utopia in so many ways, see? And the heart's full of people with broken relationships. This guy's divorced. This woman is crying. You know, this one didn't work out. There's a second marriage, a third marriage, kids by this parent and that parent. You know, you say, wow, it shouldn't be like that. But it is. Because everybody's trying to enjoy the relationship. That's the purpose. And when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You see, it just doesn't work.